fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. I'm Daphne, and I'm here today to kit up a kit for an April event. So I've been trying to just motivate myself to do more kits this year by trying to find some events and kits that I have in my stash that will work for it. So this is a kit that I'm going to be kitting up for Tail Feathers 25. This is an event run by Diamond Grandma Crafts, and it is anything feathers or tails. So birds, feathers, wings, angels, all that kind of stuff. So the kit that I'm going to be doing is one of my Craftibly kits called Midnight Warrior. This is a round drill kit, so I'm going to kit it up so that I have it ready to go for April. Craftibly very nicely included some stickers, but these stickers are huge. And even though I am using my Elizabeth Ward to kit up, even if I cut off the serial numbers, these are just way bigger than I want to use. So instead of using these stickers, I did what I normally do. I made a photo, I scanned in the canvas legend and just printed it on regular paper, and I'm going to use my Xyron here to make a sticker out of all of these. So I run it through my Xyron, and then you peel this off. And now this is all stickers, so it's sticky underneath here. So I need to cut off this edge. And I haven't done this in a while, clearly, because I should have cut off that edge right there as well before I made the sticker. So I don't know if I can, because I still want this piece to hang on to. Let me see if I can peel that back enough to cut that off. Okay, so that's what it should look like. And then I can just cut these. This part can get a little tedious because basically I'm just cutting stickers apart. And like I said, I could have used the stickers that came with it, but they're so big and it's not really necessary for them to be that large. I think when Craftibly first started doing kits, they weren't including stickers. You just got like an inventory sheet, from what I remember anyway. I could be wrong. I've slept since then. Then everybody really loved getting the pre-cut stickers. And of course, when you're the one producing kits, it's much easier for the manufacturer to do it and run huge print and cut jobs on their machines than it is for all of us to do these little workarounds at home. However, I want them to be the size that I want. And I'm sure there's lots of people who are like, why doesn't she just use the stickers that came with it and put them on the bags? I could also have done that. I don't like to work from baggies. I am very clumsy, and every time I have tried to do it, I have just made a mess, so that is not my preferred way to work. If that works for you and it's faster, go for it. I found myself wishing for this kit that I actually had enough trays that I could just kit up into trays, but alas, I left most of my trays. Well, I didn't leave them. I got rid of a bunch of them before we moved to Canada. Okay, so now I've got all of these cut. I've got 62 colors. I'm going to be using my Elizabeth Ward, like I said. So I've got my Elizabeth Ward funnel. Everyone always asks me where I get this. This is from Sasha's 3D Printing on Facebook. Just go find her group and then send her a message and she will send you this thing. I love it. I don't kit up into my Elizabeth Wards without it. So I've got 62 colors. I do have 2 rhinestones, so I'll be kitting those up, and then it actually came with 2 ABs as well. Now, looking at the colors, most of them probably can fit in these small Elizabeth Ward trays, but I do have one color that I have 2 bags of and one color that I have a very large bag of. So I'm going to dig those out. The one that I have 2 bags of, I'm going to put in this very large container, and that is number 47. So I'm going to find that sticker, and I'm going to put that on here. My stickers are pretty tiny, but that's okay. I can make it work. Now this is actually a kit that I unboxed quite a while ago because this is one of my Stay or Go kits. And it's a Craftibly, so I wanted to keep it just because I love Craftibly, and it's a round, so ooh, that fit nicely in that one. All right, I also have this bag, which is almost completely full. So I'm going to try and put it in this next size container, and that is number 8. So let me get that sticker out here. All right, and let's see if these will all fit in there. And I'm hoping, since I opened this kit a while ago, they're not all gonna fit. Darn it. All right, they wouldn't all fit in this one, so I'm going to take a second one of these, and I'm just going to put them all in there. I thought they would all fit, but no such luck. All right, so I probably could have used a smaller one, but I'm going to put those there. And those are background colors, most likely. So I went through and put everything in serial number order that it came in. And I think most of them are going to go in these small containers. So I likely will run out of them, but that's where I'm going to start. And I've got more Elizabeth Ward trays. So if I want to go find some additional containers, I can. Just going to peel these off here and put stickers on a bunch of these. Okay, so I've got numbers on the first 12 or 13 numbers. Anyway, it started to tell you this was a stay or go kit, and I wanted to keep it because it was a Craftibly, but I just hadn't found a good time to work on it. 20 by 28, I think, is what it said its size was. I don't know, that's inches. I don't know what that translates to in centimeters, but maybe 60-ish by 70-ish, somewhere in there. I don't know. Ooh, are all of these going to fit in some of these? Okay. It's a little bit full, but it all fits. Anyway, because it's a bigger kit, I just hadn't found the motivation to work on it. And I think some of me was kind of saving all of my Craftablys because you can't get them anymore, which is a weird thing, right? Why? The reason I want to hang on to them is because they were so good. I love Craftably's quality, especially their rounds. One of my favorite kits. I've done several kits by them. I'm trying to think, what other kits did I do by them? The very first Craftably that I did was one called Bird Woman by Elena Lazareva. And I absolutely love that kit. I just had such an enjoyable experience doing it. And then I did one that was a koala. I think it was called Claire the Koala or something like that. It was super cute. That one was kind of small, but it was really fun to do. And I feel like I've done one more, but I can't think of it off the top of my head. Ooh, is this one going to fit in there? Some of these, maybe I should be putting in larger ones. Okay, all of these for sure can go in a small container. And then I think I'm going to have to go hunt up already some more small containers to use because most of these are going to need the smaller containers. I might have a couple of colors that I could use larger ones. Actually, now that I'm looking at one of the ABs, this AB could go in one of these larger kits. I think I'll do that now while I'm thinking of it. So this is 59. It says AB08, but I'm pretty sure this is 5200. See if it will all fit in this one. Yes, that fit nicely. Okay, so that actually finishes up a row nicely in the tray, so that's good. And happily, I have not had any static so far, knock on wood, with these. Like I said, this was a kit that I unboxed quite a while ago. It was one of my Stay or Go kits. I bought it when Craftibly was having one of their We Don't Want to Go Out of Business sales. So it wasn't a kit that I was absolutely in love with, but I bought it because it was on sale. I kind of liked it, and I was trying to help out the company because I didn't want them to go out of business. I wanted them to stay in business. Unfortunately, that didn't work, but I did get to buy a couple of additional kits from their going out of business sale. So I got my gnomes in the snowy forest that I had wanted forever and ever. Anyway, so I unboxed this one as a Stay or Go because I wasn't sure. Like I said, I bought it as part of a sale. It wasn't an image that I was in love with, but it's a Craftibly, and I know I'm going to enjoy the experience, even if it's not my favorite image. And because I can't get them anymore, I wanted to hang on to it. So I did. So this will help me meet one of my diamond painting goals, which is to do one of my, well, some of my Stay or Go kits. Okay, so 23 and 24, I think I'm going to put in this size container. I thought I would be using more of this size container, but it looks like I'm going to be using way more of the smaller size. So I'm going to go grab some more of the smaller size ones because I definitely need it for some of these. And I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, apparently it's going to be one of those days. So I went to go get some more of the containers. And because my floor is slopey up here, my chair took off and knocked a whole bunch of things onto the floor, including my phone. So my phone now has a bunch of new cracks in the face of it. And I broke my thumbnail. So now it is super short, which is frustrating. The phone isn't my daily use phone, so that's okay. And it already had a crack across the screen, but getting another one is never what I want to do. But I guess that's just the way life goes. I was feeling so productive today. Earlier, I should have known better. All right. Oops. Missed a couple of those. And then I'm going to be ready for number 23, which is one that I am going to put in the larger container. There's hardly any of those drills. All right, 23 is going to go in this size because this bag is kind of full. And I think that would just be too many. Yeah, it would have been too many for that smaller one. So I think 24 I'm also going to put in this larger size. And then maybe after that, we'll put all the rest of these in the smaller ones. I'm going to have to go get some more small ones though, aren't I? Those ones that I got are not going to be enough. 24 might have fit in there, but all right. So I'm making progress on my stickers. This is all I've got left, but I'm definitely going to have to go get some more of these smaller size containers because these are all I have left of the ones that I already pulled. I have more. I just have to go get them, which now that I have everything kind of in the same place, instead of all over the place inside a rental, it actually makes things a lot easier. I can see what I have and know what I want to do. Because I do spend some time before I start filming these kit ups, I do spend some time trying to figure out what tray do I want to use? Do I want to use my bottle cases? Do I want to use my Elizabeth Ward? How many colors do I have? Do I have a lot of small amounts of drills in something like this where the Elizabeth Ward is nice because then I can kit up in containers according to quantity of drill, instead of using bottles where every bottle is the same size no matter how many drills I put in it. So it is nice to do something like this. But I spend some time thinking about that before I just jump in. Like I said, I was actually considering trying to kit up into trays, except I don't have enough trays to do that with. I might here in a little while because I'm considering ordering some new trays. All right, I've got some colors here that I think will go in these containers. They might fit in the smaller ones, but I'm just going to put them in this size because I have them. They're right here, and why not? So 35, 37, and 39. I'm going to put in these containers, this larger size. I know it's not going to fill them up, but that's okay. 37 and 39. And then I will need to go grab some more of these small containers so I can finish kitting up everything else. I do think I still have a couple of colors that are going to end up going in this in-between size, but we'll see. Okay, hopefully I have gathered enough of these small containers because these are all the ones that I have. Everything else is currently occupied in other kits. So I guess that means I need to finish something before I can kit anything else up, which I'm close to doing. I am close to being done with my Bella Art Diamonds Yarn Crafter's Delight. Hopefully I will be able to finish that before the end of this month. I'm really loving the pastel colors and all the ABs in it. If you haven't seen it, I've done it in a couple of whip-in chats. I'm just really loving how it's turning out so far. It's not a huge kit, but it's been a lot of fun. And hopefully it will be another kit that I can then mark off of my stash list, because I am going to have to go through my stash here shortly and do a stash video. Well, I don't have to, I guess, but I will. I try to do a stash video every quarter so I can keep track of where I'm at as far as my stash goes. All right, I think all of these are going to go in the small ones, so I'm probably going to run out of these before I finish kitting up this kit, which means some of these are probably going to get put in containers that are way too big for the number of drills, but that's okay. As long as they all fit in the tray, it's all good. That's one of the things I like about having everything in my Elizabeth Ward containers, because hopefully I can make them all fit in one tray so I can keep everything together. I do have a couple that maybe can go in some of these larger containers. So when I get to those, we'll see. Because I do want to finish kitting this one up today. Don't want to have to wait until I finish a kit to have some of the containers available. I'll make it work. Maybe I'll go ahead and pull some of these ones that look like they're going to have more drills. This looks like so many colors, even though it's only 62 in my tray. I don't know why that is. Woo! And I just realized I put those in the wrong container. Whew, it's a good thing I realized that. That could have been bad when I went to go work on those. These drills are number 48. It's kind of a slate color, and then these drills are number 49. Whew, that would have been probably kind of weird looking once I finished the kit as I was working. Okay, so 53 and 54 can probably definitely go in these. And I'm getting close to being done, but I definitely don't have any more of the small ones. So do I just start kitting them up all into this? I guess so, because what choice do I have? I'm gonna have to go get some of these too, because I put them away thinking that I wasn't going to need all of this size, and I'm going to. So let me go grab those and I'll be right back. All right, so let's see how this goes and if I have room for all of these larger containers in my tray to keep all my drills together. Like I said, it's just been one of those days. I was feeling super productive earlier when I got those out of order. That's 51. Good thing I looked at that. Super productive earlier. We got a big project completed and I was riding high on that. And then came up here. I wanted to make some more release papers for myself for this project. Spent more time than I should have designing them and figuring out what I wanted to do and all of that. Ooh, yeah, that definitely needed a bigger one. Got all that done. After I designed it, I wanted to print it. Could not get my printer to work. Could not figure out what I was doing wrong. I turned the printer off. I turned it back on several times. I did all the troubleshooting things that I knew how to do. It would not print. It kept getting hung up and saying that it was printing, but it wasn't. And I was getting super frustrated. And I finally went and got my husband and said, come touch this. And he's like, what do you mean? Because for whatever reason, when something isn't working, whether it's something mechanical, something computer, whatever it is, somebody will say to my husband, can you look at this? Half the time he doesn't even do anything. He just literally touches it and suddenly it all works again. So he did a couple of troubleshooting things, the same things that I had done to try and figure out what was wrong with it. Everything was set up correctly. He couldn't figure out why it wouldn't print. So he turned it off and turned it back on one more time, and suddenly it worked. I don't know what was going on with it, but at least it finally worked, right? That's what matters. All right, so I'm not going to get all of these to fit in the way that I want. Plus I still have these two to do and I don't have any containers left, so let me go grab those. All right, so my last two are these rhinestones. Craftibly did a lot of this with their kits, including the little rhinestones as little enhancements. Honestly, I don't know if I'll use these. So this is 666 rhinestones, and these are 444. I might go look and see if I have any ABs or fairy dust drills, pixie dust drills, and use those instead of the rhinestones. I like the rhinestones and the idea of them, but for me, a lot of times they're just a tad bit bigger than all of the other round drills, so it makes them hard to place. Okay, that was the last drill, so I'm gonna clean everything up here and I'll show you the tray. All right, so here you can see my tray. I've got my Xyron that I've used to make my little stickers. I've got my little sticker here that I will stick under the tray so that I know what kit these drills go to. And then I've got my little extra ABs and my rhinestones. Now, like I said, I probably will go through and see what I can find to add in as ABs. It did come with the white ABs and these green ABs, but that's not a ton. You can see here the green is on some of the mask and that's it. And I'm assuming the white is the moon behind her, but maybe finding some orange or yellow, some reds to go with her clothing and her mask, and then maybe some blues as well in the background that I can find for AB, so I can add those in as well. And again, like I said, they did provide the stickers, but these are just huge compared to, if I take one of these off, compared to the size of the containers. So these larger containers, maybe I could have gotten away with that, but definitely they wouldn't have fit on the smaller ones. So yeah, I'm just not going to use them. So leave me a comment down below and let me know, do you have any Craftibly kits left? I have 4. So after I finish this one, I'll have 3 other ones left. That's it for me today, guys. Thanks so much for sticking around till the end of the video. Before you leave, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.